pretty mouth, the truth is fitting. Cause you ain't never talking loud and you know plenty. You know what I'm talking about, cause you just get me. Yeah, you so pretty.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's DivinationB, where we talk about spirituality, self-improvement. If you need a little bit of inspiration and motivation, you've come to the right place. Anyways, I wanted to go ahead and make a video talking about how important it is to mind your business. Okay, I know the title's kind of like shocking, like mind your business, but I did want to talk about this because this was something that happened recently and it really gave me a brand new perspective about how there's a lot more going on than we truly really think, right? So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a story and then I'll tell you more about why I think it's important to mind your business, right? So I'm currently working. I work as a licensed practical nurse currently right now, and my patient's mom, she was telling me a little bit more about a certain situation that she was in, right? Where she had a neighbor, and essentially that neighbor got evicted out, and that neighbor really did not have money. He gave her basically a whole sob story, basically telling her like, I have never had anything to eat. It was cold. I think it was like December, November at the times. It was cold here in Florida. It was cold, and basically selling her this whole sob story. I haven't eaten and like I'm really going through it right now. And my patient's mom, she felt bad for him, so what she did, she was like, listen, you can stay with me for a little bit. I'm gonna leave you a little section just for you, and essentially like you stay here. Whenever you get ready to get back on your feet, then you can get out, right? And essentially he stayed there, and then he got a little bit too comfortable, you know, and he wasn't really looking for a place to go live. He wasn't looking for a job. He wasn't doing all these different things. He just kind of took advantage of my patient's mom. My patient's mom, like, she's one of those people, she don't take no shit. But this guy also like had anger issues. He would lash out as well, and he would give her this sob story of like, at the time, because you know she felt bad for him before she took him in, he was like, I don't understand, like this situation really like makes me think about my entire situation, because to be honest, like all of my friends, like they know the situation that I'm going through, and none of them have like tried to help me. Like they just kind of left me alone. Like I don't understand like why they, like I'm really trying to figure out if these are my true friends or not, you know? So like I said, took him in. He had a bad attitude, and they actually got into like a really big fight, right? And that's whenever she was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm calling the police. Get the fuck out. So long story short, it ended up becoming this whole big thing because, you know, basically he was being a squatter. And here in Florida, they have a whole law where it doesn't matter if they've been here for longer than 3 months and they're receiving mail at a certain location, then there's not really much that you can do, except if you pay the police and let them know like this is what you want. Then that's whenever the police will come. They'll give you a letter saying, hey, you have this amount of days to like get out and find something. And he ended up getting kicked out. But the reason why I told this whole story when I say mind your business is that at the end of the day, that truly was his karma. Because as time went on, my patient's mom got to talk with some of his friends, and his friends were like, there's a reason why we didn't let him stay with us. And it's because he's very ungrateful. He has a lot of growing up to do. For as long as I could remember, he's always lived underneath somebody. He's never ever taken the initiative to try to get himself out of where he needs to go and try to like, you know, fend for himself. And that just really brought everything into perspective, where at the end of the day, like that was his karma. As harsh as it was, he truly was supposed to be out in the cold. Nobody was supposed to help him. None of his friends, none of that. He got too comfortable. Imagine if, for example, like you're on like a pond and there's a bunch of rocks, and then you're hopping from a rock to rock to rock, and you're getting comfortable. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, somebody's like, it's okay, like I got you. You're gonna get cocky, and you're gonna think in the back of your mind, like I always have a safety net. But at the end of the day, like that shouldn't be like a place of safety for you. You should never be too comfortable. And that's why at the end of the day, like, it's important to have empathy and compassion for other people, but also try to make sure that you have a rounded view of what's really going on, because sometimes these things are happening to this person because that's their karma. You reap what you sow in this world. It's cause and effect out here, okay? And I'm telling you guys to be careful. I have another example where I had this friend, right? And we're not friends anymore. I actually made in my first video where I was talking about why you keep attracting narcissists, like I gave them the name of Pink, like the color pink. I'm talking about the same person, Pink, okay? And essentially Pink, right? Like, she was a part of this relationship. She was in this relationship for like 3 years, if I recall. And at the end of the day, she came to university because they were like long distance. She came to university, we went to the same school, she met this new guy, and it ended up turning into a whole like thing, you know? And he ended up, you know, the boyfriend at the time was just like, listen, like, this is not fair to me. And what ended up happening is that all of his friends like did not talk to her at all, like completely iced her out. They were talking crap about her, like, and I was a friend, right? I was in this situation like a little bit towards the end of when everything was occurring, and I was her friend, so I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry that this is happening to you. You don't deserve this. Like, I understand that you made a mistake, but like, they shouldn't have treated you that way. And at the end of the day, she started getting gassed up, and she was like, you know what, you're right, like, I shouldn't be getting treated this way. I made a mistake. And then as time went on, whenever it came to our dynamic, time and time again, I felt like I was the one that was enabling her, but I didn't realize it at the time. And I say this, mind your business, because at the end of the day, if I was not enabling her, that would have forced her to take a look in the mirror and truly be like, you know what, like, I truly messed this up. And like, sometimes we do stupid things whenever we're young, like we're naive, and it's like excusable, like mistakes, I guess, if that makes sense. But like, she still would have taken that accountability within herself and then try to do something different moving forward. And I feel like she would have never been able to do that if I just kept enabling her. And eventually that relationship fell through for a reason, and then that person ended up going around like her own ways. But I say this to say that sometimes unfortunate situations are truly just cause and effect. You don't know like what that person has done to another person for them to be going here and like dealing with all this string of bad luck, right? But it could also be on the other spectrum where it's like this person really hasn't done anything, but there's some karma that needs to be played out. Maybe like breaking generational curses or something along the lines of that, where now they have to go through all these different relationships so they can heal something within themselves. At the end of the day, people are teachers. People will trigger you because there are wounds within you that you need to heal, that you need to fix. And at the end of the day, like, that's why I say, just mind your business, okay? If you see somebody going through a string of bad luck, I know a lot of people tend to have like savior complexes where you want to make things easier for this person. And maybe it's great at that time because it's what that person needed, but always look out for you. Make sure that you are good, because at the end of the day, you don't know what that person has done to somebody else, and you don't want to be that enabler, constantly giving them that little slap on the wrist, because at the end of the day, if they have done something super detrimental, they have to be held accountable. And one thing about karma, she always comes to collect. She will never forget. So I just wanted to go ahead and drop this cute short little video to just let you know, mind your business, okay? Keep that in mind. Of course, every situation is different, but at the end of the day, if you can take a really really well-rounded view of what's going on, then at the end of the day, you will start to see what part that every person has played in, and there's a reason why everything is unfolding the way that it is. So yeah, thank you so much for watching my video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, YouTube.